Tonight, pain and anguish as it emerges Cocoa Board has failed to pay investors who bought their cocoa bills months after the completion of debt exchange program. We'll tell you the chilling story of one of the bill holders.
It's not been easy. It's not been easy. I've got a kid in school, in the university, and I have medical bills I have to take care of. I have the house I have to take care of. And it's not been easy. So every month we try and see what we can do, but it has not been easy. So that's why we keep going to them to try and get them to tell us if anything is going on, But we don't get any proper feedback.
We have details for you on this, plus the latest from the industry itself as many demand answers.
This is Top Story with Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Vodafone. Tonight, the fate of some cocoa bill holders who decided not to participate in the government of Ghana's cocoa bill exchange program hangs in the balance as they are unsure when Cocoa Board will pay the maturing bills. They are demanding Cocoa Board honest payment of the bills before the close of January. Now, they say the inability of the government to pay them the money is affecting their livelihoods, and we'll be delving into that situation for you, speaking to industry players on what has been happening since that exchange closed. Those who did not participate had been left in the lurch. My colleague James Ashan visited the Echikwam family, one of the Cocoa Board bill holders, and has come through with this report.
In January 2023, monies paid to investors who purchased cocoa bills on maturity were withdrawn from individual investors' accounts without their consent. Cocoa Board issued the bill to raise funds. Many had bought the bills expecting to be paid back their monies with interest on Thursday, January 19, 2023. Reports from some fund managers indicated the monies were actually paid on Thursday, January 19, 2023, only to be reversed on Friday, January 20, 2023. The banks have pointed to a directive from the Bank of Ghana ordering them to unilaterally roll over the bonds without first seeking the consent of investors. Banks were under pressure from affected customers. Echikwam, a retiree, was one of the affected customers. He expresses shock at the development since the money was rolled over without his consent.
I worked for 36 years. I started at GB Olivant and then went to Unilever. Then I went to Unilever in Zimbabwe. Then I came back to Guinness in Ghana. Worked for a short time. As for the investments, one can say I've been investing for a while. Treasury bills, fixed deposits, and all those things. And it's only recently that we took the cocoa bills.
6 months after the Ghana Cocoa Board launched a debt securities exchange program, under which it invited holders of its short-term debt securities or the cocoa bills to voluntarily offer to exchange their cocoa bills. Cocoa bills holders were asked to sign on to the exchange program, but Echikwam opted out.
As part of my retirement, I got a certain amount and I put it there. But we were in another place, and then they came and made another proposal to us, which was interesting. So we moved our funds there, and we were supposed to enjoy our benefit plus our initial capital in January 20. Yeah. That this was in 2001, 2023, 2023. So we were waiting. Then we had some hints that something was up. So we wrote to them and said, look, sell our thing and give us back our investment. Okay. And they said they would try. So come the payment time, I saw that the money had been credited to our account in the morning. Before I could say Jack, it had been debited again. So we were rather surprised. And apparently this debt recovery program had been launched. So we didn't know what was going on.
Almost 6 months after, no communication on the payment for those who decided not to tender. Echikwam and wife, amongst others, are worried why government and cocoa board are failing to honor payment of those who failed to tender their cocoa bills after government pegged the participation in the exchange program at 97%, with over 7 billion Ghana cedis bills tendered.
We have been extremely successful with the current tendering of more than 90% for cocoa bills of 7.9 billion cedis and US dollar exchange of $809 million. And detailed announcements will flow through when the settlements are done.
According to Gifty Kwam, wife of Echikwam, footing the bills of their ward in the university has been very difficult.
I think it's morally wrong. And in fact, it's legally unacceptable, you know. I mean, the trauma even to our children who have to even go through all kinds of things and explanations. It's not right because they know their parents and they know we planned for them, you know. So I'm begging the ministry to pay us our money. That's all. It's our money. You rolled it over without our consent and with your own interest rates. Fine. You give us our money back. Give it to us. That's all we're asking. It's not right to keep it.
The family is in total disbelief and wants their monies to be paid or a communication from the Cocoa Board or the Finance Ministry.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not been easy. It's not been easy. I've got a kid in school, in the university, and I have medical bills I have to take care of. We have the house I have to take care of, and it's not been easy. So every month we try and see what we can do, but it has not been easy. And yeah, that's it. It has not been easy. So that's why we keep going to them to try and get them to tell us if anything is going on, you know. But we don't get any proper feedback.
I know you are not the only one being affected by this, but do we have other groups who are also complaining about similar situation?
Well, really, yes, there are other people also going through this. I know there are, I don't want to mention names, but there are other people who are going through similar challenges. I know some people have died because of it. I know some people who are very sick. I know a lot of other people. But this one is, you have to cry for yourself because the way it has been done, we don't get together like the previous guys got together to stage a demonstration and all that because really we don't know ourselves.
It's a very stressful situation to go through at this time when my husband is on retirement and actually not that well, you know.
Is there a joint investment between you and your husband or it's just...
Yes, it's his investment plus mine put together, which we invested there. And, you know, we looked for the best option because it's like a pension stuff. We looked for something that had zero risk. And at the time, I mean, who would have thought that cocoa bills will have issues?
Cocoa bill holders, just like the Kwam's family, are asking for an update on payment for those who decided not to tender their cocoa bills. James Eshen's report for Joy Business.
And my colleague Kofi joins me in the studio with a bit more on what we're learning from the details surrounding this whole cocoa bills issue. When they did this, launched what they call the Debt Securities Exchange Program, people participated. Absolutely. It was, and we've had the Minister of State talk about it in this particular report. Give it the specifics.
So this was actually the second leg of the domestic debt exchange program. And mind you, this was the only bill that was actually exchanged in the entire domestic debt exchange program. So about 7.9 billion Ghana cedis was earmarked for restructuring. The participation rate advance was 97.4%. It simply tells you that 7.7 billion Ghana cedis was exchanged, and you have about 200 million Ghana cedis of people who decided to exclude themselves from this exercise.
And that obviously will include the Quams who have told us that they did not participate. But of course, this was voluntary.
Yes.
And as we've seen with the first line of domestic debt exchange that we saw, those who did not participate were still paid. And we'll be speaking pretty shortly with the Duan and Entry, the convener of the pensioner bondholders, and they had asked for an exemption. But as we've seen, they've been paid. In this particular case, though, that quantum that you just mentioned, in excess of 200 million cedis, those who were holding on to that, who did not participate, all the way to were voluntary, haven't been paid at all, as we've seen and had stressed there. And there are many of them like that. And this is one of those becoming one of the forgotten cases. And that's why this has become an issue, because it's affecting lives. If you go to the Cocoa Board itself, as we dig a bit more, those who decided to exchange they received 5 different bonds with an aggregate principal amount rounded down to the nearest 1 CD, right, equal to the principal amount of cocoa bills tendered, in addition to any accrued and unpaid interest due on such cocoa bills. Now, the 5 bonds will mature, and this is important, right? The 5 bonds will mature on 1 per year basis, right? Consecutively from and including 2024.
This year.
Right, so that's the first time that we can see this mature.
4 years there, that's the maturity period. 4 years, 2024, 2028. That's the maturity period.
And that's why this has become an issue. I want to bring in right now Senor Hosi, too, who is an economic policy analyst. You remember him, he was a former convener of the Individual Bondholders Forum. They came together and formed an association to fight for their own rights for people that he represented. Dr. Duan Anientri is a convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum and a past director of the General Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Is a former Director General of the Security and Exchange Commission. Both of them joins us on the line right now. Senor and Dr. Donanenji, thank you very much for your time. Senor, let me start with you. First of all, what more have we learned about the cocoa bills? And the story you just had there, Mr. Kwam did not exchange. He's part of those 200 million, that quantum that we just mentioned. Anything else we've learned from Cocoa Board, why this has happened?
Yeah, very little information has come out of Cocoa Board generally, apart from the reports you've seen on their reported success of the debt exchange. Unfortunately, it's a very sad situation. Somebody like Uncle Echikwam, I grew up. I started my career in FFCD. They were the guys we're looking up to. We can't reduce their dignity to this level. These guys have really served. And anybody who is listening, any government member should find it totally unconscionable to put somebody like him and his life in this current state. It's totally unacceptable. We can't run down a whole Cocoa Board. A Cocoa Board that has board members, including the governor, deputy ministers, and Ministry of Finance. All these people have repute this way and really want individuals like Echikwam to suffer for it. It's totally unforgivable and unconscionable. I think the right thing has to be done. Cocoa bills are typically almost same as treasury bills. All right. One, you look at the broader general government debt. It sits as part of general government debt, which is funded through short-term papers. People who go and invest in cocoa bills are investing in short-term papers, 182 days, just like treasury bills. So if you are paying treasury bill holders today, you've been able to successfully respond to the need to honor your obligations to individual bondholders. These are who are having longer-term investors. I don't think you should be doing this right. You are doing right on these bondholders, cocoa bill holders, and any form of justice. I think that government should wake up. Mr. President, wake up. Real lives are at stake. Lives are being destroyed. Families are being dissipated unnecessarily, unwarranted. And if governments have to take responsibility for it, they can't make people like this suffer for it. Their monies must be paid immediately. The Security and Exchange Commission has a responsibility immediately. When you go to the Security and Exchange Commission, they tell you that they are there for investor protection. where is the protection?
Yeah, and
Where
that is
the protection?
and that is why I brought in Dr. Donatry, who used to head that particular institution, Director General of SEC, and
I think you should be calling on.
obviously he also was of the convener of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum. We've been trying to get the SEC into this conversation. They've declined comment just yet. Dr. Donatry, so you just heard Senor Dem make the point that what's the role of SEC in all this as we begin to learn about the magnitude of the problem with the people who did not sign up to the exchange, who are currently suffering?
I think we are hearing this maybe for the first time, because when the government, after it has done the restructuring, the promise which has been part of the restructuring is that this is a voluntary exercise, and therefore all investors who do not take part, the obligation of the issuer will be complied with, so that they get their coupons when due and their principals when due. So if something is going to change, then the investor should be told. But I think we are hearing for the first time that these bills are not being paid. The coupons and the maturity values are not being paid. And so you ask why the issuer is not paying. These bills, the government took it as part of its debt, even though it's not a direct debt of the government. But I think the financiers said that ultimately, if Cocoa Board is not able to pay, government will have to be there, stand ready to pay. So at the end of the day, the bottom line, government will be responsible if Cocoa Board does not pay. And therefore, government put it as part of its debt that it was going to restructure. So if you have restructured it, just like you restructure the bonds of Dachi, the bonds of ESLA, plus your own government-owned issue bonds. Now, if you have done that also to Cocoa bills, then treat it as you are treating the Dachi bills, and the Dachi bonds, and the ESLA bonds, and pay people when it is due. Then the worst is when the issuer will not tell you anything. Cocoa Board should know that it is the person, is the institution that issue the bonds, not the government. As at now, if we are talking about issuer, it is the Cocoa Board which is the issuer, not government, even though government is taking the final responsibility of paying if Cocoa Board is not able to pay. But that doesn't change the issuer of the bills to government. The issuer of the bills is still Cocoa Board. And Cocoa Board has a responsibility to come out and tell its investors what is happening. You can't just keep quiet. You are supposed to pay. That's what I keep on saying. You don't let, as an issuer, you don't go defaulting before you come and tell people that I have defaulted. If you think that you cannot pay coupons this coming Monday, come out and tell your investors, even though that's not what investors are expecting. But it's better you come out and tell investors, as a result of A, B, and C, I will not be able to pay coupon on this day. Please, I'll be coming to you maybe in a matter of 3 days after the due day to pay.
Cocoa Board hasn't done that.
Silent.
Yeah, Cocoa Board hasn't done that. Meanwhile, we have SEC there that protects the interests of investors. They've also been quiet on this matter.
You see, the problem that SEC is also facing, SEC is facing now, is that they haven't approved these issues of Cocoa Board. Cocoa Board issues are not approved by the SEC. So SEC is finding it difficult to go and work on it or to approach them. But I'm saying that, and as I kept on saying, they are issuers. Whether your bond or your security was approved by the SEC or not, you are an issuer. And that is why I said when government was doing this and SEC was not talking, I said it was wrong for SEC not to speak, because the government is an issuer of securities. An issuer of securities, when it's working not in favor or against investors, the protector of investors must act, regardless of the fact that you didn't approve the issuer, the issue. Once it is securities, it is held by investors. When the issuer is treating investors in a wrong way, the Securities Commission must speak.
I mean, Senor,
yeah.
Fundamentally now, their lives are at stake. You've talked about it, but we know, and it's been well advertised, the challenges that Cocoa Board is currently facing. Many say Cocoa Board is broke. In fact, with the cocoa bills, it was the Bank of Ghana that kept bailing Cocoa Board out each time it matured until they refused to do it. That's why monies went to people's account, and then those monies were withdrawn. Who takes the tab now? And how does a person like Mr. Kwame and others, how do they get redress?
Before I actually maybe get to that one, if SEC sat down and these cocoa bills were being issued and investors were investing, this is a corporate bond, you should bear it in mind, which the GIFIN, the Ghana Stock Exchange, the GIFIN, they all report them. Now tell me, if I tell that all these things were not authorized and you're going to sit back, then what's the difference between Cocoa Board and Men's Gold? Men's Gold is not regulated by you. We're going to go here and put your mouth inside. Wherever they are, they must come out and defend the lives of the people here. They benefit from the taxpayer. They benefit from our taxes. We are the ones who pay them to sit there. So Reverend Obama, I have a lot of respect for him. He's somebody who has inspired and helped transform the industry in different ways. You can't sit there and watch this thing happen. You must definitely be up and try to change things. Lives are safe, and that's what the mandate of SEC is about. Investor protection. These are investors. Look at the Cocoa Board. Let me show you. Mention the board members. I'm sure it's changed a bit. But you have the next Anderson, governor of the Bank of Ghana. You have the Ministry of Finance on it. You have politicians on it. You have the Ministry of Trade on it. You have the Ministry of Agric on it. Then with all these people, who is running the government? Who is running the institution? Isn't it the same government? That is why you add it to the general government debt. So please, let's stop playing the peacock here. Stop playing the ostrich here. Please, they have to wake up to their responsibility. They are responsible. Central government is responsible for the failure of Cocoa Board. Has anybody in Cocoa Board been filed for the mismanagement of Cocoa Board? Then it means that the president approves of what's going on there. Or it's happening in his own greed. So he should wake up in the morning and think about the lives of Ezekiel. I'm sorry that I'm losing my cool, but this is a very serious matter. We cannot be sitting down, nobody is saying anything, Cocoa Board is saying nothing. Bank of Ghana, which is the issuance banker, who has been facilitating the issuance of every single cocoa bill, is saying nothing. Security and Exchange Commission, who is responsible for investor protection, is saying nothing. The Ministry of Finance is only interested in going to announce 90%. What kind of joke are we trying with people's lives at this time? It is not acceptable. We have a mandate to the people of Ghana. You have a responsibility by thought to the people of Ghana, to the citizens. Let's put every one of them in power. They should wake up to their responsibility and make sure that these lives are protected. Get them their money. The cocoa bills are not different from the treasury bills. So if you are paying treasury bills, why are you not paying cocoa bills? You are saying that you are paying individuals. Every single individual that we fought for is getting their money today. Why are the individuals with the cocoa bills not getting their money? I don't know human beings. I don't know Ghanaians. This thing must be corrected now. So whoever is listening, Minister of Finance, wherever you are, after that post there, you will leave there one day. So while you are there, use it for good and make sure you start life properly. Good evening.
Mr. Duanonenchi, what do you recommend those affected? What would you recommend they do?
I think that, you see, it's always the information. And that is why we always say that financial market thrive on information. If you can't do something, come out with the information. Investors should know. They should expect. They are expecting their coupons to come X date. If by X day you cannot bring it, let them know.
Yeah, and they haven't done so, and that's
they haven't done, and that is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And wherever you see, the securities are listed.
Yes. What can those affected do?
Managing the stock exchange should bring these people to book. Tell them that, look, you must provide the information to the market. Let the market decide what they will do with that information, because the issuer is responsible for paying us at this date. If you can't pay, please, you must let the information go out. If the information goes out and people would react to affect the market, that is why the market is there. The market tries for information. But to keep quiet, not telling anybody anything, is wrong.
And we've been attempting ourselves to try and get some clarity from Cocoa Board without success. The SEC also, and the government, the BOG also. Dr. Dodan Nenchi is the convener, Pensioner Bondholders Forum, and the past Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. You heard Senor FC earlier. If you're one of those affected, I want to hear from you tonight. 055-1111-997. News Night in a minute.
Hi, I'm Kweku. I make business pitches by day and play on soccer pitches by night. I gave both roles my all because I am more than just one thing. What about you?
We know you are not just about business. You also have other interests. That's why we are the bank that supports the many sides of you. Join ABSA to get every kind of business solution for every kind of you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or absa.com.gh for more information.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchie, munchie, oh munchie, shortcake biscuits.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake Biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
Ready? Let's go. We all go bring some savannah.
Everyone is dancing, everyone is singing, because everyone is painting with Savannah. Savannah paints from Azar are affordable enough for everybody to fulfill their paint needs. Paint more, pay less. Savannah paint, we all go paint some.
We all go paint some savannah. We all go paint some.
Of late, things no easy, crowd. For my business inside, pressure day from customers. If I make payments, give suppliers, Okada riders, delivery charges, it no easy. Things no they move fast like before because everything make expensive. The family where they house, see what are they talk? Family where they call, they ask for another money. It no easy. Vodafone Cash be the only thing where they make my ID get to. If I they do transfers for Vodafone Cash, it they save me money. If you they do Vodafone Cash to Vodafone Cash transactions, still no transfer charges dey. Even if I they send money to another network, I they get value.
Make you dial *110# to send money. Sending money from Vodafone Cash to Vodafone Cash still be free.
Vodafone.
Good evening and welcome to News Night. In the next 60 minutes, we played no role in the awarding of the SML contract to GRA. Petroleum Commission is the latest regulator to distance itself from the controversial gold production sector revenue assurance contract after the Minerals Commission earlier stated that it was not aware of the deal. We have the very latest as the Office of the Special Prosecutor confirms it has commenced preliminary investigation into the contractual agreement, plus updates on the KPMG audit ordered by President Akufo-Addo. And then in your election headquarters, with immediate effect, the membership of the vice chairman of the northern region of the NDC has been suspended pending outcome of disciplinary proceedings for further action over assault of the regional treasurer.
The extent that it has to do with an assault, irrespective of what the issues have been. Leadership came to the decision that the said officer have been suspended for 3 months pending investigations. And
we'll take you live to Tamale for reaction. Also on the political front, NPP National Executive Committee meets this afternoon to take key decisions on the fate of aspirant hold before the Appeals Committee, as well as draw a roadmap for the January 27 parliamentary elections. I'll take you live to the Alisa Hotel. Also tonight.
So for security reasons, it is imperative that we register our SIM cards.
And mobile subscribers call on government to initiate the promised protection against fraudsters after many have fallen victim to scams.
By the moment I just dialed my PIN code, they just took the money.
And we'll hear from skeptics of the SIM card re-registration exercise who say they have been vindicated as mobile money fraud persists months after the exercise. We'll get to hear from some of them.
you can say I've been vindicated because the system that was used was not perfect. It was not flawless. It had several flaws, technical flaws that we raised, that they just needed to have listened to us.
And in business, government targets ending of March this year to finalize negotiations with bilateral and euro bondholders on debt restructuring.
And in sports, Jordan Ayew dismisses claims of a lack of commitment among Black Star players at the AFCON with assurance that the game against Egypt will be a good day for Ghana.
And much later, celebrities in Ghana will have to wait until April 10 to know whether they can resume endorsement of alcoholic beverages following an imposition of a ban by the Food and Drugs Authority.
Some of these endorsement deals are the things that keep us moving. And you see, it is not like when the money comes into the space, celebrities or artists keep it to themselves. They reinvest it into the industry by employing other people and investing in other initiatives. At the end of the day, it inures the benefits of Ghana as a country.
That and more in tonight's edition of Newsnight. Your thoughts, comments are via WhatsApp is 055 1111997. On all our social media platforms is the hashtag Newsnight. I am Emefa Apawu.
And my name is Mensah. We start tonight with the very latest on this ongoing SML scandal. And tonight, more regulatory agencies are distancing themselves from this revenue assurance contract that was signed and was about to be executed by the Ghana Revenue Authority, having handed it over to the private firm SML. We are not aware of when the contract awarded to the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, an offshoot of a timber company, to undertake revenue assurance services in the oil and gold production sectors for the government. That's the position of two regulatory agencies. The Minerals and Petroleum Commissions have tonight provided details in a response to an RTI request.
Well, on the part of the Minerals Commission, it says it did not play any role in the award of the contract to SML. Chief Executive Martin Kwekwe, in a response to a right to information request from investigative journalist Manasseh Azuria-Winnie of the Fourth Estate, who led the SML investigation, also said the Commission does not have any report of losses resulting from the deliberate or accidental calculation as far as revenue in the mining sector is concerned. Well, my colleague Michael Ashali joins us in studio with details of that. We have both reports from the Petroleum Commission, also from the Minerals Commission. Michael will take us through it. Let's talk about the background, though, to this contract.
So, Emefa, the SML contract we know was awarded to the company by the Finance Ministry and the Ghana Revenue Authority and entitles SML to more than $100 million every year for the duration of the contract. The GRA explained that the contract is for 5 years and renewable for another 5 years. The contract has since been suspended about 2 weeks ago by President Akufo-Addo and appointed an international audit accounting firm, KPMG, to audit the contract and submit a report in 2 weeks. And in the last few minutes, we are learning about this particular audit by the KPMG. We'll give you details shortly. But what is the Minerals Commission actually saying in response to the Fourth Estate's inquiry? Emefa, let me start by reminding you that the Minerals Commission says what it has been charged by law to do. It is government's agency with the primary responsibility of developing and coordinating mineral sector policies and monitoring their implementation. So, in effect, any such contract must come to its attention somehow. The Fourth Estate wanted to know if they were aware of the contract since it falls under their ambit. Now, here's their response. It says that, please, we do not have any report of any deliberate or accidental calculation as far as gold revenue is concerned.
And this response is interesting because that was the context within which the SML contract was being awarded. In other words, there was an anticipation that something was happening in there that had led to these deliberate or accidental calculations as far as gold revenue was concerned. So go in there and try and see if we can revenue assure. Mm-hmm. But the regulator is saying we're not aware of it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. So it goes on to say that the Minerals Commission did not play, again, any role in the award of the contract. The Commission does undertake regular or special audits from time to time as per its mandate to do with such issues. And we do collaborate with other government or public institutions to do that. Now it goes on again to say that, as indicated, that the Minerals Commission, together with other state agencies or institutions, do carry out audits while exercising their regulatory powers. The government has the authority or power to commission audit at any time to deal with such matters. The Petroleum Commission should be in the position to answer that, as the question is specifically referring to the Commission, and we'll be grateful if you can reach out to the Chief Executive of the Petroleum Commission to deal with that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. And that's the Minerals Commission's response to the Fourth Estate. And my colleague Samuel Kujobris also joins us. Concluding part of that particular response to the Fourth Estate refers the Fourth Estate to the Petroleum Commission. On that, they proceeded to also ask the Petroleum Commission a number of questions. And Samuel Kujobris
and that's
joins us.
interesting also because Petroleum Commission became relevant because, as you know, the contract also required SML to also do revenue assurance in the upstream petroleum sector.
Yeah. Now, Petroleum Commission stated the questions and then gave responses. First, it says whether there has ever been a report to the Petroleum Commission or by the Petroleum Commission to any revenue losses resulting from deliberate or accidental calculation as far as revenue is concerned. If there is, kindly share a copy. That's what Fourth Estate was looking for. Now the response says the answer to the first part of the question is no. By reason of the answer to the first part of the question, there is no report to share as requested as the second part of the question demands. Now, two, the role the commission played in the award of the contract to SML. Response: the commission is not aware of any contract awarded to the said entity. Third question: the current arrangement put in place by the government of Ghana through 8 agencies and the oil companies to ensure transparency in the operations of the upstream petroleum sector. Response: all the arrangement put in place by the government of Ghana to ensure transparency in the upstream petroleum sector are provided for in relevant and applicable laws. Now, the fourth question the Fourth Estate was looking for is whether the Petroleum Commission has evidence of leakages or shortfalls in the current system, for which reason another company is needed to secure revenue in the system. Like Evan said in the first one, when it came to the mines, they had to ensure that there were leakages. Now, the Commission is saying that by reason of the Commission's response to the question 2 above, which said no, that they have not seen any leakages, the Commission is unable to make a determination, on this question. The fifth question was if there are any shortfalls or are the current agencies incapable of resolving them. The response is kindly refer to the Commission's response to question 2 and 4 above. So question 2 is no. If you look at the question 2, it says the Commission is not aware of any contract. The 4 is that, by reason of the answer to that question 2, then they cannot really give any further information. 6 is whether the Petroleum Commission advised the GRA or the Ministry of Finance to engage another private entity to undertake revenue assurance in the upstream petroleum sector in Ghana. Response: the Commission is not aware of any such contract.
Okay. Well, and we've been engaging civil society on this. We'll hear their response. But in the last few minutes also, we know that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has issued its quarterly report. It provided an update on its work on the SML scandal. Michael joins us back in the studio. So what do we know when it comes to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and its investigations?
So, what we understand is that the office has commenced investigations into contractual arrangements between SML and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream production, and then minerals and metals resources value chain. The investigation, he tells us, is based on the complaint filed by Manasseh and his the co-workers on that particular report. But the complaint alleged possible corruption, so therefore they have picked it up and they are working on it.
Okay. Well, Evans, we've been picking up also checking on the KPMG audit because that statement from the presidency directing the halting of that particular contract and also asking KPMG to conduct the audit. You gave it 2 weeks with immediate effect to continue to begin working to it. The 2 weeks has elapsed on the matter, but we're learning.
Tell us that the KPMG is yet to submit a managerial report to the president. We do understand there is more work to be done on this particular issue. Also, reliably informed that they've asked for an extension of time to complete this audit from the 2 weeks that were given initially, which was supposed to begin immediately at the time that the president issued this.
Yeah, and we're waiting for the presidency to communicate that, whether they've accepted to extend the time for the KPMG and how long of an extension they are giving them when it comes to this particular work.
You're still live, your News 9. It's on Joy 99.7 FM. And I'll take your views and comments, 055-11-11997.
Well, let's get into the election headquarters now, proudly brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. And we start from the stable of the NPP, and all afternoon the National Executive Council of the New Patriotic Party have been meeting to decide the fate of aspirants whose eligibility to contest the upcoming parliamentary elections have been challenged at the Appeals Committee. Well, the National Executive Committees also expect to fashion modalities for the conduct of the January 27 elections. Party bigwigs, including the leader of the party, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and Chairman Stephen Team, we know have all arrived at the Alisa Hotel in Accra for that particular crucial meeting. And James Aveji is our man on the ground at the Alisa Hotel. Will join us shortly with details of what we are learning. James thankfully joins us. James, let's talk about who else is in this particular meeting.
Emefa, so apart from the Vice President and the party chair that you mentioned earlier, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Prima Otter Paris, is also in this meeting, including former chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, as well as the former General Secretary of the party. All of those, including the former General Secretary, another former General Secretary, Kwabena Ejepong, all of those are in the meeting as we speak.
Let's walk through the key issues to be looked at this particular meeting.
So two key things we pick in will be paramount in the meeting. One will be about the report of the Appeals Committee, the National Appeals Committee. We know that some two referrals have been made to them. Paramount is that coming from the Asokwa MP, Adanti Asokwa MP, K.T. Hammond, who is challenging the legibility of some three other aspirants who are contending him in that election. His matter is that they do not qualify to get into the election. He raised concerns about the Article 12, Clause 4 and 7 of the party constitution that says that whoever wants to contest in such an election must have lived in the constituency for at least 5 years. And the other issue he raised is that some of them are not card-bearing members of the party. We know that he filed that petition earlier with the the regional appeals committee in the Ashanti region. That petition was thrown out of the window, and he's escalated it now to the the National Appeals Committee. And so what is expected is for the appeals committee chaired by Kwame Prempe to forward that to the National Executive Committee, who will look into it, take some decisions on that, and then they will submit it to the National Council for a final decision on that. We also are supposed to prepare a roadmap for the January 27 election. Key amongst that decision will be who would constitute the voting constituent of the election. There's been an appeal for some ministers and MPs who may not be within the jurisdiction on the voting day to vote via proxy. They will have to take a decision on that, and all of that is what they are looking at in this election.
Just curious though, is the issue about running mates not on the table for discussion?
Yes, a part of the wins we're taking on the ground. We know that just yesterday, the former Speaker of Parliament, Mike Eronokwe, have been speaking on the matter, talking about the fact that, yes, the balancing of the sheet, which would be that an Asante candidate pairing with Dr. Baumia is paramount, but he needs to consider someone who is not too ambitious to become a president, because when that happens, it may not augur well with the party, where his position, the president position, may be undermined by the vice president. So he needed to do all of those calculations. And so we are expecting that we should get a headway in that decision. Either they will tell us who the person is, or give us an assurance that there's a headway to who that candidate will be. So we are expecting to hear something from the party at the end of the day as far as that key issue is also concerned.
And I guess the meeting is still underway. When do we expect a determination to be made on the issues, in particular with the January 27 elections and the other concerns in terms of the Appeals Committee?
It is still underway. In fact, every single party executive who has walked into that meeting, none of them has walked out of the meeting yet to signal that either it is coming to an end or all of that. And so we are expecting that this will drag a bit late into the night. If you remember last time, they ended about 9 p.m. We are on, not too sure if that will be the case, but looking at the time now, and there is no movement in and out of that meeting, we expect that it will drag a bit longer.
And we'll definitely stay with you. That's my colleague James Aveji reporting live from that National Executive Committee meeting here in Accra.
And let's stay with politics this time to NDC because as we now know, the vice chairman of the party in the northern region has now been suspended. His membership of the party has been suspended with immediate effect for the next 3 months, pending the outcome of disciplinary proceedings over the assault of the regional treasurer, Shamima Yakubu. Now, Madam Yakubu suffered facial injuries as a result of the battery and assault when tensions reached the boiling point during a crucial stakeholder meeting last weekend. Now, as we know, Egbewa was later arrested and released on bail, a development that led to a revolt by the Egbewa youth. They locked up the party offices in the Tamale metropolis. We can listen now to the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, who's been telling us the decision, giving us details of the decision of the party to suspend him.
Leadership have looked into the issues and we believe that change to be done and other processes, we are told, are concurrently ongoing. But to the extent that it has to do with an assault, and you can see evidences of same, irrespective of what the issues have been. Leadership came to the decision that the said officer, as it is, stand to be suspended or have been suspended for 3 months, pending investigations and all other processes that will enable the party look into the issues properly for a final redress.
Did he admit to assaulting Shamima?
But he doesn't have to admit assaulting. Two people were engaged in disagreement. You don't need a medical report to see that a lady in question, who is also a working colleague, was assaulted. And I don't think that the vice chairman would at any point in time disclaim that conduct, except to say that he may have his own justifications as to why he believes that taking that action was prudent. But to the extent that it offends the rules of the party, we have to take that decision to bring sanity and order into the party.
And beyond the 3-month suspension, I'm sure the party is still supporting criminal proceedings, or the law should take its own course. Is
The
the party supporting
is not
that?
part of any criminal process.
But you're supporting that, are you?
The party is not against a criminal process either. It has to do with a suspect as we stand and then a complainant. The complainant was the victim. So to the extent that a party have to take a decision on the conduct, pending other procedures that the party will activate as much as possible to be able to get into the issues properly, to believe that whatever that the victim will decide to do, the party will not be against it. If only it is an order of law, I don't think that the party is against it.
Well, we know that the youth in the area also locked up the party office yesterday. What's the action that the party is taking regarding that?
Well, we've been looking at that incident, and one of the issues that the youths are raising is that, one, there's the basis and the justification for where the vice chairman and the treasurer have reached. They also feel that the detention of the vice chairman and the action of the police, they think that the police is on the record to have been acting swiftly in NDC matters and very slow in MPP matters.
And there is Mustafa Gbande. He's a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. I want to take you to the northern regional capital now, where my regional correspondent Martina Bugri joins us right now. Martina, when Mr. Gbewa was arrested and detained by the police, it triggered a revolt among NDC youth there. They locked up the party offices. Now the party is taking the decision to suspend him for 3 months, pending the outcome of the disciplinary proceedings. What has been the reaction?
I must say that in the city this afternoon has been quiet. The youth group that locked up the office went there themselves to unlock the place for party activities to take place. What we are learning is that Alhaji Bewa himself is leading an advocacy to calm the youth down. that they shouldn't revolt against any decision. It's a party decision which he respects, and so he expects that the youth also respect what the party has agreed upon. And so he's leading with the Council of Elders in meeting these youth groups to calm them down.
What about the party office? Has it been open now?
Yes, it's been open. The youth themselves went back to open it. So as at this afternoon, it was opened.
We know we've been trying to reach Madame Shamima, who was assaulted, and she's been receiving some medical treatment. Have we heard anything from her?
What we know is that she's left Tamale. She's currently in Kumasi. She's residing in Kumasi as we speak. We are told that she's doing well. That's all, just the brief that we know, that she's doing well.
Thank you, Martina. Still live here on News Night. It's on Joy 99.7 FM. I want to quickly return to our top story this hour, the revelations from two regulatory bodies, one in the mines sector and the second in the upstream petroleum sector. Both the Minerals Commission and the Petroleum Commissions have tonight been talking about what they know, or rather what they don't know about the SML contract that was requiring SML to do revenue assurance both in the mining sector and in the upstream petroleum sectors. Both agencies have said in a response to an RTI request that they know absolutely nothing about that contract that is now a subject of an audit ordered by the president himself. I want to bring in the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee who joins us on the line right now, Mr. John Junapo. Mr. Junapo, thanks for your time here on News Night. Surprised to learn that both the Minerals Commission and the Petroleum Commission say they know nothing about this revenue assurance contract that was signed with SML for them to guarantee revenues in the the mining sector, but also in the upstream sector, upstream petroleum sector.
Well, I'm not surprised because this contract is loaded with opacity. It's not transparent. It doesn't meet basic minimum standards. These regulators are not just technical regulators. They are supposed to ensure that we also meet the revenue requirements. And so they have a role to play when it comes to quality assurance in respect of revenue. And so why would they be sidelined in such an opaque contract? Look, the bottom line, and that is a fact, is that one man decided that he will profit at the expense of the state and clandestinely, secretly, signed this contract. Other than that, why is the president asking for an investigation? Why did the president not order for due diligence, value for money, before granting approval? Now the horses have bolted, you are trying to close the stable.
Doesn't that presume he didn't know about the contract? And of course, he may possibly have heard about it like all of us did through the work of Manasseh and his team.
Fantastic. That even makes it worse. For such a major contract with far-reaching implications, why would the presidency be sidelined? Then there's a problem with the whole governance architecture and the reporting mechanism as far as this government is concerned. And so clearly, there's a problem. And if this contract was a good one, why are officialdom so reluctant to release official information? What is so wrong with giving out information in respect? What is so secret about this? Are we developing a nuclear weapon? A common contract that you want to ensure that there's value for money, that there's quality assurance in terms of revenue. People are requesting for the documents, and you don't want to release the documents. Everybody is claiming ignorance. This country deserves better.
We know that the KPMG is looking into this matter. From what we learned tonight, they've asked for more time. We're waiting to hear from the presidency if that will be granted. I know at the beginning of this investigations, when it first became apparent what has happened, Parliament you were considering if Parliament should also get involved. Happy, at least, that the KPMG is looking into this, even if they want more time.
Well, that does not preclude Parliament from still looking into the matter. And like I said, the KPMG reference is specific. So let them do their work. I hope they will do a good job. I hope they will conduct due diligence. And when they come out with their report, all of us will scrutinize it. But I insist that Parliament must still look into this matter. in terms of procurement issues, in terms of fairness, in terms of equity, in terms of the procedure in awarding the contract? Was there competitive tender? Were other companies given the opportunity? How can you have one company, my brother, one company? They are experts in the downstream sector. They are experts in the upstream sector. They are experts in gold. They are experts in bauxite. Why? What kind of company is that? An octopus company? There's a major problem there.
John Jonapo, thank you very much. He is the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament. Still live here on Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. Still ahead.
So for security reasons, it is imperative that we register our SIM cards.
Mobile subscribers call on government to initiate the promised protection against fraudsters after many have fallen victim to scams.
By the moment I just dialed my PIN code, they just took the money.
Well, skeptics of the SIM card re-registration exercise say they have been vindicated as mobile money fraud persists months after the exercise. We'll hear from some of them.
You can say I've been vindicated because the system that was used was not perfect. It was not flawless. It had several flaws, technical flaws that we raised, that they just needed to have listened to us.
And also, celebrities in Ghana will have to wait until April 10 to know whether they can resume endorsement of alcoholic beverages following an imposition of a ban by the Food and Drugs Authority.
Some of these endorsement deals are the things that keep us moving. And you see, it is not like when the money comes into the space, celebrities or artists keep it to themselves. They reinvest it into the industry by employing other people and investing in other initiatives. At the end of the day, it inures to the benefits of Ghana as a country.
Well, I have a celebrity joining me right now. George Yaffe. Hello, George.
Hi, Evans. I wish I was a celebrity. And there are some who would also ask whether we have celebrities here in Ghana.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
You're one of them.
Okay, and Emefa is
Emefa is a superstar. Yes.
Yes, and also to take this opportunity to wish Evans a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Such a hard-working guy, you know. I remember still my early days here, you know, when we used to do a lot of things together. But such a
I shall disclose.
no, but Charlie, happy birthday.
Thank you, George.
Wishing you long life and more signing of checks.
Amen. Amen. What do you have in the headline, George?
Well, even coming up, government targets March ending to finalize negotiations with bilateral creditors and Eurobond holders on debt restructuring, and World Bank to halt lending to Ghana after June this year because of the December general elections. I'll be getting you more details on that one. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, Sinter's Tanks, and Pepsodent, Charcoal and Herbal.
Central University, Ghana's leading private Christian university, has open admissions. Apply now for a degree in environmental engineering, fashion design, landscape design, interior design, business administration, economics, law, nursing, civil engineering, architecture, computer science, IT, theology, PharmD, and many others. Degrees are available on our campuses in Mutual, ICGC Christ Temple, Abosokai, and Kumasi. Also enroll in our MBA with various specializations. Scholarships are available for needy but brilliant students. Call us on 0303-318-583 or visit our website at central.edu.gh for more information. Central University, raising transformational leaders through faith, integrity, and excellence.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense-paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Ghana's oldest insurance company. Truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first point of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Osu Akwaje, or our office near the Osu Stadium. We're also in Tema Community 1, opposite Olam SHF, Kumasi KNUST campus, UCC Cape Coast, and now at the Marina Mall, Airport City. Or call us 0302-764101, 764209, or 762792. Visit our website, www.kingdomgh.com.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfits.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex Tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex Tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex Tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, stress-free. Syntex Tank, reliable. Syntex Tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244-335-168, Kumasi 0505-555-666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, government is hoping to finalize negotiations with external bilateral creditors and Eurobond holders. That is by end of March this year. The move might be critical in helping Ghana pass the second review under the IMF program. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been talking about this, as well as other developments that could impact the larger economy.
The numbers are clear. Inflation has gone down by 31% within this period. Growth has been strong, despite what we think. The banks performed much better than we thought, and the currency has held. These are important flag posts, and we'll continue to keep at them. So I'm expecting a pretty robust year with regards to the economy. We will make sure that job creation continues. We will make sure that the social protection is not compromised, and certainly industry will be supported. The mutual prosperity dialogue, which is engaging government more actively with the private sector, will continue. And I think we'll continue to hold our heads up in the months ahead.
And that is Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta speaking on PM Express Business Edition, which will be aired tomorrow on Joy News at 9 p.m. Now, investor interest in Ghana have picked up strongly following the deal reached with external creditors on restructuring of the country's debts. Now, that's according to business strategist and senior partner at law firm AB and David Ofosudote. The uncertainty about Ghana's program of the fund and status of the next tranche disbursement had stalled some discussions on investment. Now, Dr. Doty has been explaining to Joy Business the area of interest and some challenges ahead.
Interestingly, everybody was worried in 2022, 2023, but I see more requests for investments than I used to see in 2022. Now. Yes, now. So, and I'm saying that bad times are always the best time to invest. So, to some extent, turning around in terms of investment flow, I think is true. And many people are making inquiries, but they are still nevertheless worried. I mean, I had a mail as late as yesterday, and that's about the third time this year. Do you think Ghana is going to get this IMF deal? And should we go ahead with our investments or not? Yeah. The question, which is a deeper question, is where are the investments going? Which sectors are people making inquiries? Is it manufacturing? Is it the financial sector? Is it services? Is it agribusiness, etc.? Because where the investment go also determines how we perform in future. So yes, many people are making inquiries. That definitely, I mean, it's true.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
David Ofosudote is a business strategist and senior partner at law firm AB and David. Ghana may not receive financial support from the World Bank after June this year. This because it's the fact that it is an election year. Now, this would mean that Ghana must work hard to ensure that it is able to draw down all the funds for this year before the middle 2024. Now, the immediate World Bank country director, Pierre Laporte, has been explaining to Joy Business why the World Bank is taking this action.
Our policy is not to disburse budget support too close to elections. So it will be important that both the team and Ghana work very hard to get the conditions for the second operation early enough. If it's too close to the elections, we will find it difficult to disperse.
Are you afraid of whatever new government taking over? That's why.
No. We are not afraid of anything. It's just a policy. It's a policy, but also perception, because we don't want to give cash to any government in elections. We all know, election times is when generally there's what do you call that? Temptation or pressure to spend. I know. And it's a policy bank always does. We don't give budget support or even certain operation like cash transfers very close to election. But just to clarify, we're not scared of anything. If this government or
maybe you have intelligence or whatever, and that's
if there's a change in government. Recently, I met with His Excellency John Mahama, and it's normal as part of a dialogue. I mean, we listen to them, and the World Bank works with the government of the day. If this government stays, we work with them. If another one comes, we'll sit and.
Immediate country director for the World Bank, Pierre Laporte. The National Petroleum Authority has indicated that it is in the process of approving more outlets that will serve as collection points with the cylinder recirculation model program. The initiative seeks to centralize distribution and sale of LPG in the country for domestic consumption. It also allows consumers to exchange empty cylinder for filled ones at a specific location. Abbas Tasunti is the head of economic regulations at the National Petroleum Authority.
Since we announced the launch last September, a lot has been happening. What we've been waiting for all this while has been the readiness of the bottling plants to start rolling out. A number of them have submitted a list of outlets that they are going to use to start the rollout. And we are assessing these outlets. The important thing is that we have to make sure that every outlet has met the requirements before they can start selling LPG. And that's ongoing. Our inspections and monitoring department has been checking with this. Once they approve these outlets, we will see them rolling out. A number of them have already shown us their cages which are ready. I mean, the bottling plants and their marketing companies. So once all this is ready, currently what the NPA is doing is continuously educating the public to be ready for the rollout. We've been visiting churches, we've been visiting a number of communities and doing the education. But in terms of operational rollout, the bottling plants are ready. And once the exchange points are also ready, we'll see them coming up.
Abbas Tasunti is the head of economic regulations at the National Petroleum Authority. The managing director of DCB Bank, Kofi Adomako, has taken over as the new president of the Ghana Association of Banks. He takes over from the chief executive of Standard Chartered Bank Ghana, Masaneti, after an election to settle on new set of executives for the association. Masaneti had led the association as president since January 2021. The current managing director of DCB Bank, Kofi Adomako, is expected to serve as president for the next 3 years. And that's all for business on News Night, Emefa.
Thank you very much, George. See you soon. And mobile subscribers are calling on government to initiate the promised protection against fraudsters after many have fallen victim to scams. Government's effort to combat the rising tide of mobile money fraud requiring users to compulsorily link their SIM cards to their Ghana cards was hailed as a move to curb fraudulent activities that had become a growing concern in the mobile money sector. While it was expected that tying each SIM card to a verified identity could thwart fraudulent activities, protect users, and maintain the integrity of financial transactions. In the following feature, Michael Ashali reports that the Momo fraudsters continue to prey on the unsuspecting public.
Mobile money fraud has now become so pervasive. The motive is varied, but the bottom line is to get money from you. These deceptive schemes often commence with a seemingly ordinary text message, characterized by glaring grammatical errors. Spelling errors and poor construction in fraudulent messages might just be a deliberate strategy employed by cyber criminals.
When you see the bad spelling, it is not as if they can't spell.
Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, suggests that the use of poor grammatical constructions by the fraudsters is just an attempt to circumvent their new artificial intelligence-enabled system.
The confirm, maybe the R that is there, they will make it an S. They will change a few of the things in there so that once the AI is crawling it, he sees it, it's not what it is that he's looking for. So, but fortunately for us now, we're beginning to use AIs. So what the AIs do is that once they see all of this, they learn. So they start seeing the spelling mistakes that you want to beat them.
Other times, these fraudsters will call you with promises to lure you to send them money. Rose and Okwe have been victims of cyber fraud.
And when they called me, they said they've sent me some amount of 400 cedis. So I should check by dialing my PIN. So then I was very curious. The moment I just dialed my PIN code, they just took the money. And later on, I called them to beg them that please, the money was for something important. They should send the money back to me. But they refused. And I called MTN. MTN told me they will get back to me, but nothing.
Now, they pose as agents of some of the mobile networks under the guise that you are a lucky winner of a draw.
I'm Linda Ofori. Our calls are recorded for education and training purposes. So for detailed understanding, are you okay with the English or should I speak to you in any local dialect?
Oh, but you are already communicating in English.
From enticing phone calls promising rewards to posing as mobile network agents, the aim of the scammers is simple. Extract your personal information and use them to later impersonate you.
So please, I would like to confirm your AC numbers. Please, what are your AC numbers over there?
What number?
Haven't you received any AC number? Your AC code, please. That is 6 numbers, please.
Okay, but okay, you said I should tell you what it is.
We are verifying it for you, please, so that I can bring it to the office, please. With your Ghana card, that is all, please.
But the message says, do not share.
About it is that there are basic things. Some red flag. One of the red flags is that you've won something. Red flag. Immediately somebody tells you you've won, it's a red flag. And that one about I have sent you some number. Another red flag.
To curb this, government has since 2022 made it compulsory for every SIM card user to link it to their Ghana card for one major reason. By tying each SIM card to a verified identity, government sought to create a system that could thwart fraudulent activities, protect users, and maintain the integrity of financial transactions.
The need for re-registration of SIM cards is obvious. There's a lot of cyber crimes that are committed by people on our networks. With our mobile money system, there's a lot of impersonation, identity theft out there. So for security reasons, it is imperative that we register our SIM cards.
People of all ages endured days of frustrating queues to obtain their Ghana card, the mandatory document for the SIM card re-registration exercise. Subsequently, they faced further frustration, spending additional hours in another line to link their SIM cards to the acquired Ghana card.
I believe if they can do something about it, because there are a lot of people behind me.
However, despite the well-intentioned move, the cyber criminals are undeterred.
They found ways. So now what happens? Generally, some of the new ways that you and I are entitled to 10 numbers that we can register, the maximum. So they will see a few of our friends who do not really understand what these things mean. Give them some 20 CDs, and then they'll go with them and they'll go and register the SIMs in their names.
Some SIM card subscribers believe that some employees within the telecom companies collude with fraudsters, sharing the personal information of their subscribers. This shared information, they believe, is then exploited against the unsuspecting subscriber.
I think there are some people in the office, in the MTN office, that works with those scammers. Because sometimes how they even get your number and everything is strange.
Despite the initial challenges posed by mobile money fraud, telecom companies maintain the belief that integrating the Ghana cards with SIM cards will ultimately prove instrumental in eliminating fraudulent activities. Subscribers earnestly hope for a more robust and responsive telecom service when addressing their concerns related to mobile money, particularly in handling and resolving complaints. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
I want to bring in now the Deputy Ranking Member on the Communications Committee in Parliament, Samuel Neto-George, who joins us now with more on this. And Samuel, I remember when this whole process started, as we've heard in that report, the Communications Minister was on the floor justifying the re-registration exercise with the suggestion that it was going to deal with the security challenges that we had with mobile money fraud, etc. As we just witnessed, it hasn't necessarily dealt with the problem, and people are still using the cards, and it can be traced. We'll try and get the thoughts of the committee member on that, because it's something that the committee had talked about and also asked for some further interventions to make this whole process worthwhile. We'll get that for you.
Of iSolve Africa, Henry Kobner, says the worst is yet to come as he predicts increased fraudulent cyber activities. Well, he believes many of the protection systems are independent of each other and must be harmonized for effective protection.
Track manner, I think that it helps in sanitizing the processes. I am predicting that in the next 5 years, we're going to have a heightened bit of fraud in the telecommunication system and in the IT system itself as a whole. And so there's that high need of a lot of trainings by most of these telcos and banking systems to be looking into cybersecurity trainings for most of their employees. And even the people that they sort of interact with, most of the merchants that they sort of link up to, there's supposed to be a lot of education and trainings which will go into helping these employers to be able to get ahead of time and to be able to curb some of these menace which is in there. And the next thing I think should be coming in place is the linking of almost all the systems. I feel that there's quite a lot of disintegration when it comes down to the systems. And so if you want to track someone whose Ghana card or whose SIM card has been used in fraud, and you track it to the Ghana card. The Ghana card basically should be linking up to a GPS system, and so that makes location easy to track and all of those things. There should be that centralization and syncing of these systems, which makes it easy. That should even connect to all the banking systems, which I know is in place, but there's a bit of slow processes to it, which I understand it comes with tech. But there should be that communication across board that if somebody is moving money, the next persons that they are even moving money to from those SIM cards are actually being blocked. And so it's not just about the person that is in the crime, but the perpetrators around the crime. Because when money hits onto that SIM card, it's moved onto several SIM cards. And by tracking those SIM cards, you can be able to now put the money and then now get to the persons. I think that these processes could come in place. Some level of policy heightened could come in. I've seen that there were taxes that were placed on to help improve cybersecurity. I've not seen the implementation of that. I've seen cybersecurity agencies and the Ghana Police Service come into play. I think that there should be more of work to be done.
And if you're one of those affected and you're still struggling to get some resolution, although you've re-registered and we've been promised that that will solve the problem, at least it will help find the fraudsters. It doesn't appear that it's been that successful. People have found a way around that. It's something that we're keeping a close eye on, and we'll bring you more in the subsequent bulletins. Also, you can find the details of that report on myjoyonline.com and across our social media platforms. Let's do sports now. It's a few hours, if you may, less than 24 hours to that big game tomorrow. It's now do or die. You know, it's a must win.
Yeah, it's a must win
against
Egypt. And the Black Stars head coach Chris Seaton and Jordan Ayew, a senior player in the Black Stars squad, have all been speaking. For Jordan Ayew himself, he is very confident that Ghana will recover from that opening day defeat to Cape Verde and to claim a maximum point against Egypt. And he's also been dismissing concerns by some that the Black Stars players seem to lack commitment. He says the players are indeed committed to doing well come tomorrow.
We need to do more, that's for sure, and we are ready to do more, and we are going to do more, so nobody should worry about that. And tomorrow is a big day, and we know that it's a big day, and we know how much it means to Ghanaians. And for we ourselves personally, we want to perform. We want to perform in this tournament. We didn't just come here just to visit Abidjan. We came here to perform well. So we'll see tomorrow, and we're ready. And you cannot, I wouldn't agree when you people say people lack commitment, or no one lacks commitment. Everyone is fully committed. It's just that sometimes things go your way, things don't go your way, but you need to force things. And tomorrow we're going to force things, and we'll see after that.
Jordan, are you there? Tomorrow they're going to force things. But what's the latest on Mohamed Kudus? Is going to be available for the Black Stars in a game against Egypt? Chris Hutton.
So just an update on Mohamed. Mohamed Kudus is, as most are aware, he joined camp later than anybody else because of an injury that he sustained in his last game for West Ham. We will continue to assess him. We have today and tomorrow morning to assess. He has trained the last few days, but we will assess him, as I say, today and tomorrow, and make a decision tomorrow.
As head coach of the Black Stars there, Chris Seaton. Well, tournament favourite Morocco, they've started on a very good note, trashing Tanzania by 3-0. That game is almost ending. The next game is going to be Zambia versus DR Congo. And even Zambia, Avram Grant, the man who took Ghana to the finals in 2015, he's handling Zambia, and he'll be playing DR Congo later tonight. That's it for sports for you.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's head to the Supreme Court, and it's set 10th of April to deliver its judgment on whether or not the Food and Drugs Authority's ban on celebrities' endorsement of alcoholic beverages is legal. And Richard Kojo-Nyako was in court today. He joins us in studio. Let's talk about what happened.
Well, Emefa, you know that in 2015, the FDA decided to prohibit celebs and then those well-known personalities in Ghana from advertising alcoholic beverages. And so in 2023, Magdalene Osei, who manages one of the artists, went to the Supreme Court seeking the court to strike out the provisions that the FDA is relying upon. He says that there is equality before the law, citing Article 17(1) 1, Article 17(2) of the Constitution, saying that they are discriminating against the well-known personalities, and that is why they want the Supreme Court to declare as unconstitutional the position of the Food and Drugs Authority.
Judgment does not win has gone our way, so we're just being hopeful that at least they would hear us, because this is an industry that doesn't just thrive on the works that we put out there. It is some of these collaborations with corporate institutions, some of these endorsement deals are the things that keep us moving. And you see, it is not like when the money comes into the space, celebrities or artists keep it to themselves. They reinvest it into the industry by employing other people and investing in other initiatives. At the end of the day, it inures to the benefit of Ghana as a country. So we're hopeful, and we pray that it goes in our favor. It's not like anybody wants to banter with the FDA or fight with them in a way. Everybody wants an amicable solution where it will be a win-win so that everybody can go about their business. The celebrities are not, because they have kids, they have families. Naturally, they would not want to endorse products that would go and affect their kids negatively.
Evans, that is George Quay. He represented the celebs who appeared in court, who thrown the court, and they are hoping for a win-win situation when the Supreme Court delivers a judgment on the 10th of April. Evans, before I go, we have something for you. Right? There is breaking news, right?
Yeah, breaking news. So play the jingle, yeah.
The breaking news.
Yeah, please.
Evans, allow.
Celebrities will still be taxed to find ways to speak to children against alcoholism.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So.
Guys, go. What is your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the birthday of
Evans
Mensah.
to celebrate to you.
Happy birthday to you, Evans.
Birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Evans. Happy birthday to you. So let me share something. In those days, when we were here working, there were things like Evans could walk all the way to the bank and deposit like 1 Ghana cedi and then come back. And Evans would take 50. And then also Evans would go to Top Taste, have his fufu. After the fufu, he would ask for Gary to mix with this.
But that I still do.
Oh, okay. He hasn't stopped.
I think in November, he ate a banquet in Bobion.
And after that,
I'm getting from
so that is the vintage Evans for you. It's funny that I still not stop those things. But hey, listen, we want to you.
I was born in the Braga.
You know, it's such a special day to celebrate a very hard-working person. You know, risen from the low to the top, and you won't see him bossing himself. And that's the spirit here at Joy FM. You see our leaders and our team leads working hard with all of us in the ground, and this is a person that listen.
But who's responsible for this, though?
Such a beautiful soul.
You don't need to know anybody who's responsible for this, please. We have taken we were taking over the radio.
Get the job done, but of
you
course,
know, so we want to celebrate him, and you know,
I've really enjoyed working with Evans.
You know, so I've set up the committee receiving the gifts, you know, the checks and the dollars. So please. Head of the finance committee, I'll be taking the
Evans,
gifts.
We love you so much, okay? Keep being you.
He's crying.
Anymore, I haven't said anything yet.
Anymore.
Evans, happy birthday to you. I think you always make us proud. I remember my first election at Joy, watching you. I mean, your confidence, your assertiveness, your knowledge, your wisdom. Charlie, you inspire we all. So happy birthday and may God bless you.
Did you know about this though?
No, I'm just coming to do my show.
Okay. So you're the only one I put. Yes, of course.
We dedicate this new one to you from Diana Hamilton. From where you've been.
DJ Emefa.
This is the doing of the Lord, and we are very proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emefa. Thank you, all of you. I didn't know this was happening, and I'm happy that you're not part of the conspiracy. Yeah.
I'm not part.
You are.